In this video, I'm going to talk to you about the recent attack on Microsoft Exchange Server on-premises platform by an advisory group known as Hafnium. On March 2nd, Microsoft released some security updates to address the vulnerabilities that are being used in an ongoing attack by an advisory group known as Hafnium and gain control over the Microsoft Exchange Server on-premises platform and started accessing private data from several entities. We call this type of attack as a zero-day attack because there were no fix available to defend or to reduce the damage of this attack until March 2nd. But it is not anymore 0 day because now we have patches. So in this video, we are going to see what kind of attack it is and how Hafnium group exploited Exchange server. Now patching has released, so patching your Exchange means are you done with this, and how to determine are you exploited or not. And based upon the impact of this attack, you need to recover your Exchange server somehow. So I will show you how to recover Exchange server using Stellar Repair for Exchange. What you see now are the technical details that provided by Microsoft for understanding this Hafnium exploit. The first vulnerability, as you can see, that it allowed the attackers to send arbitrary HTTP requests and authenticate as Exchange server. And once the attacker exploit this vulnerability, then using the second one, they have the ability to run a code on your Exchange server as system. And then in the third vulnerability, you can see that the Hafnium operators, they have the ability to write a file to any path on the Exchange server. So after exploiting these vulnerabilities, Hafnium operators get the initial access to your system. Then the second step, they deploy a web shell on these compromised servers, and that allow attackers like a door with their control. They can come anytime and steal the data or perform additional malicious actions like running a ransom virus and keeping everything encrypted and asking for some money. So exploiting these vulnerabilities and deploying a web shell on the compromised server is the initial step of Hafnium operators. Then based upon the attacker's interest, they may steal the data or perform additional actions like running a ransom virus. So it doesn't mean that you are not exploited if your Exchange server is operational today, because they may have the initial access to your Exchange server using the vulnerabilities, and also they may deploy a web shell for their future access and future actions. So the next immediate step is patching your Exchange server. So what you see now is the on-premises mitigation tool. One-click mitigation tool. This will help you to complete all the actions that previously described in a single click. So let's have a look at this one. This will take you to a GitHub repository where you can find Exchange on-premises mitigation tool. This will help you to mitigate these recent vulnerabilities which I show you. And it will scan using the Microsoft Safety Scanner and try to remediate the compromises detected by this Microsoft Safety Scanner. You can run this script in production hours. There is no functional impact observed, but you can also consider to run this in non-production hours also. So you can download this and run, and it will go for a full scan, and based upon the result you can take actions also. But this is a time consuming action, so you need to consider that also. So after Hafnium operators gain the initial access and deploying the web shell, they start stealing the data or further actions. And based upon the history of this exploitation, you will see that some of the attack details in Microsoft website. So you can see that the stolen data compressed and maybe saved in some form like it.zip or pst, something like that, inside program data. This is a hidden folder. So you have to open this hidden folder and see whether you have something there. And also you have to go through the logs in order to see like whether there is any unauthorized access to your systems and all these things. And some of the web shells which are deployed for the further access may found in these directories, and web shell names may be one of these. So it is not going to be same name, it can be different. As you can see that they give different name in different exchange servers they exploited. That is why you see different names here. And also it can be in different format also, so it is not going to be same name. So now you know what kind of attack is Hafnium attack, and how you can check whether you are exploited or not, and what patches now Microsoft provide to deploy and fix your issue. But these patches will stop attackers from getting into the Exchange server for further exploit, but existing access remains. So, no damage so far doesn't mean that you are not affected. The chances are high because the proof of concept of this Hafnium attack is now available in GitHub. So now not only the Hafnium operators, other people can also try to exploit the non-updated exchange servers, because the proof of concept code is available in GitHub. Anybody can download and try to run this on someone's exchange server. So now the number of attacks will increase. So you have to patch your exchange server immediately. But as I said, the existing access remains. So the attacker's approach on all the entities are not same. They may take access and keep the system remain to work, or someone try to run the ransom virus. So as I told you, a patching is not the only fix. A continuous analysis is the best measure. So based upon the impact, some organization may decide to go for a new exchange server, or may decide to move their users mailbox to Office 365 Exchange online services also. Setting up a new Exchange server or all the services related to the Exchange server, or creating a new Microsoft Office 365 tenant is not that critical, which can be done easily. But when it comes to recovering the data or bringing the data of your user mailbox into the user mailbox in your new Office 365 tenant or your new Exchange server is the toughest job in the recovery. And to do that, you can use Stellar Repair for Exchange. So I will show you what are the features that are available in Stellar Repair for Exchange to recover from a corrupted EDB file, or if you want to migrate the user's mailbox from a EDB file to a live Exchange server or to an Office 365 from a single window. So I will just demonstrate you some of the features of Stellar Repair for Exchange. So I'm just opening the Stellar Repair for Exchange, and here you can see that I have an option to select and point my EDB file. So this is my Exchange server EDB file. I just upload it. And in the next step, I have two options: either go for a quick scan, which complete the scanning faster, or I can go for an extensive scan. And let me go for the quickest one. And you can see that this will give you, as you see in your Outlook, you can see all the calendar items or your mail items, and you will have like a granular view where you can easily restore the items in an individual wise. So now you can see that it displayed all the emails, and I can see that the attachments based upon the icons here. And once it complete this listing of your inbox items or any other folder items, then you can easily like click on the individual items, and if you want to save it as a PDF or you can save it as a message format, you can do that. Or if you just want the attachment, you can simply click on the attachment and you can download it also. Or if you want to click on the attachment and open it, you can attempt from this attachment column here. Now if you want to export this to an Exchange server, for example, your Exchange server corrupted and you only have your EDB file, you set up a new Exchange server and all the services are running. The next step is to ship your data from the EDB file, that is the only backup you have, to the running Exchange server. You can simply click on the export to Exchange server option, and you can enter the email ID, server name and user password, and by this way you can migrate your data from EDB to an Exchange server. The next option you have is to export to Office 365. You can enter the mailbox ID and password, and this way you can move your user mailboxes to Office 365 also. And if you want a calendar based view, you have this. And if you want to see the contacts, you can see it from here. So once you open the contacts, you can select the user from here, and that will display as you see in the Outlook. Now, in order to export multiple mailboxes together to a live exchange or Office 365, you can select the user mailboxes from here. Then click on the Save button. That will take you to an option like Export to Live Exchange or Office 365. And you have to read the steps or the prerequisites that is listed here. Something like an Outlook administrator profile need to be there. You have to give user credentials like administrator. So once you have the Outlook profile prepared, then click next and give the Outlook password, then also the domain controller name, then administrator username and password for the mailbox, then click next. Now you can see that the mailboxes that we selected in the as EDB source and also the mailbox mapping status is not mapped. So now we can select the mailboxes available in the Exchange server credential that we have provided. And once you select it, you can simply click on the export option, and that will export the user mailboxes from the EDB source mailboxes to the live Exchange server. So this will help you to do in the time of recovery or migration. The other way of recovery is using dial tone recovery. So in a dial tone recovery, the process involves creating an empty database on a mailbox server to replace the failed database, and then you can recover all the users mailbox data from the corrupted one to the empty database that you created. So the empty database that you created will be connected to the users immediately. So if you have a downtime related to EDB file, then creating a dial tone database and connecting to hundreds or thousands of users will help you to keep them live and receiving the new emails. And in parallel, you can use Stellar Repair for Exchange to recover the users' emails to the dial tone database, and that will help you to reduce the recovery window. To perform this step, you can follow the Stellar documentation available. I shared the link in the description. You can follow it, or you can simply click on this window, and that will take you to the documentation. Then the next option, like we do the multiple user mailboxes to Exchange server, you can also export this to the Office 365 also. And to do that, you can simply click on the Export to Office 365 option, then follow the prerequisites like Outlook profile must be administrator of Office 365. Then you can simply export the user mailboxes from the EDB file to the Office 365 accounts. And now the final and the most portable option is to export as PST. So you can simply save the account as a PST. You just need to point the destination here, and you will get the PST, and that is portable. You can import it anywhere, Office 365 or Exchange server, or even in Outlook also. So Stellar Repair for Exchange give you a very granular view and an easy method to recover your Exchange server. So let us summarize what we have learned in this video. We started with what kind of attack is Hafnium and how they exploit the Exchange server, on-premises Exchange server, and what Microsoft provide today to fix this issue, and why patching and continuous analysis is important is also explained. And if you have a situation that your Exchange server is not functional and you are planning to move your Exchange server to a new one, then you can use Stellar Repair for Exchange as a tool to migrate your data, users data from on-premises to another Exchange server, or if you are moving to Office 365 also, the tool is going to help you. That is all. See you in another video. Thank you.